everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Time, and it is good to be back. Woo! Today, I got episode number 22 for you guys, and normally this would be the Tuesday episode, right? The fantasy episode, but again, I was out of town, unable to deliver you guys a video on Tuesday. That doesn't mean I wasn't working, okay? I still posted and updated the stardom, sit-ems, or get rid of them for the week, and guess what? I'll even make it easier for you guys. I'll post the link down in the description, so you don't have to go searching for it. Don't even worry about searching for it, because the link will be right down in the description. So if you want to see all the stardoms, the sit-ems, or get rid of them for week number 8, click on the link in the description down below. Otherwise, today we have another edition, another week of Meat on the 50, and as always, I am joined by one of my best friends and partners in this journey, Brandon Sullivan, and together we are going to be breaking down the slate of games that are on tap for this weekend. We got some decent ones. I mean, nothing really jumping off the page. We do have a banger leading us off with the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals, so that should be exciting. We are fired up to see that, but other than that, we'll see. I'm hoping for some good games this week. Good games this week. We were on fire last week again. We just can't be stopped. With our picks. So you're going to definitely want to tune in for that. We are going over everything. If you guys like this video, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and then just tap on that bell notification. That way you can just find your way back for every single episode that drops every Tuesday and Friday. They're going to keep dropping every Tuesday. Don't worry, I'm not leaving you hanging again. But you can stay up to date on all the episodes. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and then just tap on that bell notification. That way anytime a new video drops, you stay up to date. The last note I have for you guys, as you guys may have noticed within the last couple of videos, is I have broken it up into chapters for you. It is now even easier for you to watch Fantasy Time videos right now, right? It is so easy, right? If you wanted to see the meat on the 50, boom, click the meat on the 50. If you want to see the recap of last week, boom, click to the recap of last week. You want to see the whole kit, kat, and caboodle, right? Just stay where you're at, because we're going to get into it right about now. So, without further ado, let's get into it in another weekly edition of Meat on the 50. Here we are again for another week of Meat on the 50. Joining me to my left, as always, one of my best friends, my partner in this journey, Brandon Sullivan. How you doing? We've been texting, but I feel like we have not talked in a while now. So how you doing?
Yeah, just a rough week for me. Kind of coming to the acceptance of about a couple things about, my team, and, that's kind of what I've been ideally focused on, just because I kind of feel like we're starting to get out of the race here. So, it was a tough week for me. Rainy game, and it was kind of depressing. I mean, I tried to have as good of a time as I could, but it was cold, dark, rainy, and just the game kind of matched what was, what I was, the vibe that was out there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad for the most part you didn't get swept away in those monsoon type floods that we saw in the Bay Area this past weekend. That was crazy. But I know it wasn't a good weekend for your team. However, it was a pretty good week for you. So let's put the overall season totals on the screen. Boom. All right. So yourself sitting at a nice 54-40 for the season. But the beautiful sight here is that 6-0 in the guaranteed victories. For myself, at a solid 61-33, 4-2 on the guaranteed victories. Sitting pretty right now. I'm liking the way the records are looking. But let's wipe those away. Let's look at last week, starting with you, right? Like I said, it wasn't a good weekend for your team. However, it was a solid weekend for yourself, right? Following up a great performance the prior week with another dominant performance going, boom, 10-3. And of course, did we expect anything different? Nailing that guaranteed victory, keeping you perfect on the season so far. So, for the year, let's look at this. Putting you at 64-43. Woo, cracking that 60 win mark last week with another solid performance of picks. And then let's just make it official. Put it up on the screen. Boom, 7-0, baby. 7-0 on the guaranteed victories. Absolutely rolling, absolutely dominating. If you pick it, it's a happening. So let's look at my week. All right, now it was no 13-1. All right, it was no 13-1, but it was 9-4. I'll take it. 9-4 in the week. You know, not that impressive. But what was impressive was the let's face the facts. My guaranteed victory, son. My Bengals destroying the Ravens, and I said the Bengals would beat them. And they not only beat them, they destroyed them, becoming the best team in the AFC. Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. Absolutely dominating. For my season, this puts me at 70-37. Whew. Come on, analysts, what you got? What have you guys got? Because I'm looking at your guys' overall records, and they're absolute doo-doo. TV or no TV, pick the right games, all right? 70-37, dominating these picks week in and week out for the season. 5-2 on the guaranteed victories. I'm liking it. I am liking it. All right, just like last week, and I think we're going to do this going forward. Let me hear them. What are your 4 takeaways from week 7?
Yeah, I think the first takeaway would be that, I think that we can both agree here that the Panthers are they're just not a very good team. I was pretty disappointed that, they let me down on that pick there. I thought that they would definitely be able to, with their defense and some of their offensive weapons, take out the New York Giants. So I'm beginning to, think that, they're one of the worst teams in the league now after that. And that may change, in a week-to-week thing, but I think they've lost 4 straight games now. So that's, when you start out 3-0, that's what makes the significance of losing 4 in a row that much more painful for that team. So they got to kind of try to turn things around here quickly, or else they won't have any chance in the NFC South. So I think that's the first thing, and then also it looks like the Patriots are starting to come to life. Putting up a 50 piece on the New York Jets, who are not a very good team, but still, just that's impressive. Anytime you put up 50 points and with a rookie quarterback. So as time has gone on, like I said, there was a lot of negativity in the air with me towards Mac Jones, but he's definitely starting to prove me wrong. So, credit to him and how he's leading that team. And it's I think that they definitely have a chance to make the playoffs. So that's another takeaway for me. And it does appear, though, that, and also another takeaway is, it does seem that the Falcons are starting to turn things around a little bit. Kyle Pitts is a big X factor for that team. They kind of broke even on the season, and that's anything can happen at this point. When you're talking about a 7th team being able to be in the playoffs now for each conference, that 7th spot is up for grabs. So when they kind of started off sluggish, but it looks like they're kind of polishing things up a little bit, and I think a big part of that is the connection between Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts. So that's something to look out for, I think, moving forward. And then the Cardinals. It's just it's incredible that just the start that they've had, and I think I'm kind of calling it now. I think that they're going to be in the NFC Championship game. Barring some sort of setback, I just think with the addition of Zach Ertz, it's made them more versatile in that area, and Kyler Murray's playing lights out. And just looking at his passes and his throwing motions, and he just seems to be getting into the groove. So I wasn't high on Kyler Murray when he first came into the league, but he's another player that's definitely proving me wrong. So a big shout out to that team. I know they're in our division, but they are definitely playing well. And, if they keep playing like this, they definitely deserve to hold the title in the NFC West.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a favorite game this weekend?
I think my favorite game was the Bengals and the Ravens, to be honest.
There we go.
Yeah, because it was a big, bold statement by you to say that to go with a guaranteed victory on that, and much respect to you for following your team and supporting your team on that one. And not only did they come through for you, but they really opened up the doors against the Ravens in Baltimore.
Yep.
Ja'Marr Chase is unlike any rookie wide receiver that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's just on pace to shatter all these records, and it's super cool for that organization, just for a organization that has struggled for so many years, just with the front office, with the quarterbacking situation, with defensive players, with people being in trouble, with the list goes on and on. I think the one consistent thing going back to Corey Dillon is they've always known how to draft running backs, but other than that, they couldn't get anything right. So it's cool to see all of it come together and finally see that organization do well. So, I think it was my favorite game just based on, my happiness for the Bengals.
I like it. All right. My 4 takeaways from last week. The Tennessee Titans look to have turned their whole season around against that clutch win against the Buffalo Bills. I think you and I, like you were saying, this is the team that we were expecting to see at the beginning of the season. We are finally seeing them. Holy moly, it's been long enough. Jeez Louise, right? Ryan Tannehill was looking like the Miami Dolphins Ryan Tannehill. Now he's looking like actually a viable quarterback. So, I'm feeling good for the Titans team. I'm feeling good. They finally have a stranglehold on this division. The Colts, we'll see what happens this week when they take them on. But, I think the Titans are looking good in that division. Which leads me into my next takeaway. A team that is not looking good, just like you said, is the Panthers. Panthers are out. Falcons are in. Basically, thanks to some very generous scheduling by the schedule makers for the Atlanta Falcons, they've had some of the more easier games this season in terms of opponents and strength of schedule. So kudos to them. Luckily, they didn't completely fumble and mess up that easy schedule, and they're actually finally able to right the ship. I think Kyle Pitts has seemed to come on, but actually I think the integration of Cordero Patterson in the run game and the wide receiver game has been the biggest key for this team this season. Because basically having Cordero right now, Mike Davis had basically every opportunity to take control of this running game. He has done nothing. So Cordero Patterson basically being that flex running back, that flex wide receiver, opening up the field for Kyle Pitts. Calvin Ridley's getting healthy. Matt Ryan finally looks like Matty Ice again. So it just took them a while, but it finally looks that they might be the second best team in that division. The next one, and come on, I got to talk about this. The next one, fan or no fan, everybody has to be talking about what the Bengals did to the Ravens on Sunday. Not only taking the lead in the division, but taking the lead in the NFC. Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 1 seed, AFC. If you want to talk about a turnaround, that's what you call a turnaround right there. Whatever happens this season, obviously I'm looking and hoping for continued success. But whatever happens this season, to me, this has already been a win season. Joey looks like the future leader of this team. Ja'Marr Chase looks like a future dominant receiver in this league. The chemistry that they have is not like he can just go to Target and pick it up off the shelf and buy it. No, you can't. It's going to be very, not impossible, but it's very hard to replicate the chemistry that Joey B and Ja'Marr Chase had coming into this season already. It's going to be very hard to replicate that between a wide receiver and a quarterback duo. So that alone could be an entire takeaway for all 4 of them. But the Bengals are dominating right now. Dominating. My last one, and it's not really so much a takeaway. It's a question I have for you. Tommy the GOAT Brady passes for 600 touchdowns. My question for you is, A, Does he reach 700? B, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, do they catch him? Or C, are we looking at a second grader or someone who's not even born to catch Tom Brady? Give me your thoughts.
Those are all really good questions. I like those. I don't think he reaches 700. I'm not sure he's going to play that much longer. That would mean at least at least.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to play two and a half seasons. He's going to have to play two more seasons. So he's going to have to play in 2022 and 2023. A part of me thinks that not this year, but next year will be his last. I just have this feeling, and I may be wrong, but I just think once you're at 46, 47 years old, I think that, I don't see him playing beyond that. But hey, this man continues to surprise us. But my gut tells me he's not going to reach 700, and if he does, that's phenomenal. I mean, that is like no one will ever reach that. So the question between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, that's another really good question. Well, with the way that Patrick Mahomes has been playing, he's going to have to pick that pace up a little bit to try to stay on cue, because my thing is I don't think either of those players, just based on how physical they play, are going to be playing until they're 44 or 45 years old, because Tom Brady's much more of a pocket passer, and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are a little bit more dynamic in a sense that they are rushing the ball a lot more, and they are taking those hits around the goal line a lot more. I mean, we saw Patrick Mahomes take a big hit on Sunday, and I felt really bad to see that. But that's what happens when you are dynamic like that. So I don't think either one, but I do think that records are meant to be broken. So I do think that there is somebody out there. I don't know if they've been born yet. I don't know, like you said, are they in first and second grade? But I do think one of those one of those QBs out there one day will break that record.
I like it. Yes, 600 touchdowns. Huh?
I want your take on that, though. I want you to answer your own question.
I think he's going to reach 700. Okay. I think Pat catches him. But at the same time, just because my thinking is this: nobody thought that anybody was going to catch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nobody, not a soul thought. Even with Michael Jordan's success, they're like, oh, he's not even close, right? We're going to see it. We're going to see it within the next 2 years or so. LeBron is going to do it. It's not a matter of like, what if is he going to? No, it's a matter of when is he going to do it. So the man is going to break the all-time scoring record in the NBA. Drew Brees' records got shattered for touchdowns. Tom's record's going to get shattered for touchdowns. The person who I can see doing it is Pat. But realistically, I think I'm going to go with, I think someone who's in, first or second grade right now, or is not even born. I think that's who we're going to see break that record. Pat, I like your analysis of, I think he does move around too much. I think he's too mobile to last until 45, 46, 47. I think that's a really good analysis, because I can't see him turning himself into a pocket passer. If he did, that would be ridiculous. If you can turn yourself from a mobile quarterback into a pocket passing quarterback, that would be ridiculous late on in your career. But I think Patrick has the chance to do it just because of Tyreek, just because of Travis. I think the weapons that he has are better weapons than what Josh has. And I think people are going to gravitate more to Patrick than maybe the Bills. Unless the Bills can win a Super Bowl here, then it would be nice to see some top-level free agents go to the Bills to help Josh out. That would be good to see. Chances are, though, we're going to be old men. We are going to be old men when this record is broken. Gray hair, gray beards, everything. And we're going to be old people.
We're looking back on this video, and we said it.
Exactly. But I think there is a chance it'll get broken eventually. But I think he does it. I think Brady reaches 700. If he can't get the perfect season, Brady is too much of a competitor to not have something drive him, right? 600 probably drove him. Now 700 is going to drive him, right? That Super Bowl is going to. If he can't win the Super Bowl, I guarantee he's going to look at 700. Does he need to accomplish anything more? No, of course he doesn't. But it's Tom Brady. I think he knows that as well. He could have retired 3 years ago and been happy. So Tom just plays football because I think Tom obviously loves football. So I think he does it. At the same time, Patrick has the best chance of doing it. But I'm more on the line of, I think a second grader or someone who's not even born right now is going to break that record. We will see it, though, hopefully. We will see it. All right, let's turn the page to this week. Starting us off, we have an absolute banger. Getting us ready for week 8, a potential division round matchup, a potential conference championship matchup. We got, for us tomorrow, for everybody else yesterday, we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to the desert, where if you remember the last time these two played together in the desert, Aaron put through one of the craziest Hail Marys of all time to Jeff Janis, of all people, and then Larry took the ball down the field in overtime on one of the craziest runs you'll ever see, one of the most exciting playoff games you'll ever see. So I think we are in for another exciting thriller. What do you got for me? Green Bay Packers, Arizona Cardinals. What do you got for me?
Yeah, super stoked for this one. I don't remember a Thursday game being this good in a while, so this is awesome for them to line this up and put this game together. I'm super excited. I think Arizona just being at home and on the hot streak that they're on, I do think that they are just a tad bit better than the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take them here at home, 28-24. I do think it's quite a battle between Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray, who looking like two of the best quarterbacks in the NFC right now, along with the GOAT. I think that the Cardinals, it's safe to say that they'll take this one.
Yeah, so with Devontae Adams out, Allen Lazard out, right? I think a healthy Cardinals team, granted they are losing J.J. Watt, but everyone else is pretty much healthy on that team. So I think a healthy Cardinals team handles the Packers. The first game, and I'm predicting a 2-game series, just like the Rams and the Buccaneers. I think that's going to be a 2-game series. I think this very well may be a 2-game series, but I got the Arizona Cardinals 35-21. I just think that the health of the Packers is going to affect them too much, where he's relying solely on Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, and Robert Tonyan. Has he pulled magic out of the hat before? Of course, he's Aaron Rodgers. But I got the Cardinals moving to 8-0, 35-21, and a thriller of a Thursday night game. Moving on to Sunday morning. We got the Carolina Panthers, the massively struggling Carolina Panthers, traveling to the Peach State, Georgia, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. What do you got for me?
Yeah, fun fact about the Atlanta Falcons Stadium is, it's Arthur Blank went ahead and made that, they created that stadium and built it pretty recently. And I don't know if people are aware, but they have a Chick-fil-A in that stadium. And but the only problem is that most of their games are played on Sunday. So they have a Chick-fil-A that's not even essentially used, because it's all Chick-fil-A's are closed on Sunday. So unless they play Monday night or Thursday night, you're not getting Chick-fil-A. And none of us are getting Chick-fil-A either. And what sucks is Sunday is like the one day I want Chick-fil-A. So,
True.
But so I just thought that was kind of a fun fact. But anyways, just to because there's really no excitement with this game at all. Not really much coming from this game for me at all. I mean, not much for me to say at all. I think Kyle Pitts gets going. I think Matt Ryan gets going. I don't think the Panthers stand a chance. I am going to pick, even though it's a divisional rival, I just think the Panthers are playing horrible. And we're seeing the old Sam Darnold. So I'm going to pick the Falcons here, 31-20.
Yeah, it's funny how things change, right, for the Panthers, right? If this game were a few weeks ago, I'd still be rocking with the Panthers. I still think that they have a chance to turn their season around. But after last week against the Giants, no, I'm done. Clearly the Falcons, and I'm going to say it, clearly the Falcons have gotten their stuff together, and in my opinion, they are the number 2 team in that division. Yes, what about the Saints? Oh, the Saints have only lost 2 games. Blah, 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 okay? Until Jameis Winston does anything of value to prove that he is a decent NFL quarterback, I'm going to take Matty Ice over Jameis Winston 100 times out of 100 times. So, the Falcons, not on record, but on visual sight. On visual sight, the Falcons are the number 2 team in that division, right? They're completely, their offense looks completed now. Their defense is finally looks like they got their stuff together. They've had some close games, right? They've had some nail biters, but the offense and defense finally look like they're coming together. I think the Falcons are on an upward trajectory. I think the Saints are just on this normal flat line where I think I think we kind of see how good the Saints are going to be, right? They're going to have a good defense week in and week out with a mediocre offense. That sounds like a 7-10 record. That sounds like an 8-9 record to me. That doesn't sound like a playoff team. I think the Falcons, with this turnaround in recent weeks, finally getting back to level with their record, I think they are on an upward trajectory, like I said, and they handle the struggling Panthers 35-14. Our next game up, we got the Miami Dolphins, who played tough last week. With Tua looked like a competitive team. However, taking on the Buffalo Bills. Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. What do you got for me?
I can kind of agree with your statements there that Tua did play well, and they looked pretty good. So I think that they're better than their record, maybe only slightly better, but they are better than 1-6 in my opinion. But you are looking at a hostile Buffalo Bills environment. I think that defense really gets going in Buffalo, and Josh Allen's been playing lights out pretty much all year. This is going to be my guaranteed victory. I think that Buffalo does take this one against Miami, and I think that they're able to beat them 35-17.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We got a double guaranteed victory, folks. Double guaranteed victory. Yes, come on. It's the Buffalo Bills, right? The Buffalo Bills march to Super Bowl 56. Continues with a dominating victory at home against the Miami Dolphins, 42-21. Easy win at home for the Buffalo Bills. I hate that it's going to be against the Dolphins, but Buffalo continues to roll. Guaranteed victory there in Buffalo. We got double time. Our next game up, we got the San Francisco 49ers, who need a win probably more than any team in the NFL right now, taking on the Chicago Bears in the Windy City. Hopefully, it is not that windy so that they can actually execute their offense. What do you got for me?
This was a tough one for me, because I think that both of these teams are going through their struggles, and, it could go either way on this one. I think I'm going to just stick with my team here, just to kind of have some faith in them.
Here we go.
I think Kyle makes some adjustments here. He changes up the scheme a little bit, which we've been needing to do, because what we've been trying to do for the last 4 weeks just hasn't been working. And you know what? The last 3 weeks, because I think that our game plan against Green Bay was actually very well executed. It came down to the wire. So I don't think that we played bad in that game at all. But the last 3 games have been tough to watch. And, I expect Jimmy to play not lights out, but, do just enough to beat them. Beat the Bears. So I'm going to say that we win this by a field goal, 20-17.
Okay. So I will admit to everybody that when Jimmy first came to the Niners, I was extremely high on Jimmy G, even going as far as calling him the savior of the franchise, which at one point he almost did it. He took the team in his first regular season, or his first full season, to the Super Bowl. He almost did it, but that was only 2 years ago, and boy, has time flew. Now, statistically, the worst quarterback in the NFL. I can no longer trust him. I can no longer trust Kyle. I can't trust any of them to do what they need to do to win the game right now. I need to see some major turnaround. So I'm going to go with the Bears here. I'm going to go with the struggling Bears and an overwhelmed Justin Fields, who looks like a deer in the headlights out there right now. I think Justin Fields somehow, some way handles business at home in a close game, 24-20. But I'm going the Bears at home. I just can't trust Kyle and Jimmy right now. Can't do it. Our next game up, we got a classic division matchup right here. Should be a good game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Cleveland, taking on the Cleveland Browns. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I don't know. This one's a toss-up as well. Something tells me that Pittsburgh's going to win this one. I just think that Cleveland's due for a loss, and I just think Pittsburgh's going to go in there and maybe beat them, I think 21-17. I think it's a close game, a low-scoring game. I think both defenses play well, but I just have this feeling that Pittsburgh's going to win.
I like it. So with the potential return of Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb, I think the Browns, I'm going to go with the Browns here. I think the Browns continue to win. The Browns have won some ugly games. Have won some ugly games, right? So I think they win this game, keep themselves right in that division race. Even with two guys out, I think it's another ugly win, right? It doesn't. The nice thing about it is it doesn't matter how ugly the win is, as long as you get the win. So I'm going 28-21, and I think you're right. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think the Steelers are going to put up a fight, but I can't take Big Ben. Can't do it. Cannot do it this season. I'm going to go with either Case Keenum or Baker Mayfield in that running game to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are just completely mediocre. I don't even know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are at this point. Cleveland Browns, 28-21, continuing to stay afloat in that division race with the Ravens and the Bengals showing out this season. Our next game up, we got, and this one is kind of a snoozer as well, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Motor City to take on the Detroit Lions. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with what I saw out of Philadelphia last week, against the Raiders. Not taking anything away from the Raiders, but I mean, Philadelphia started out well, and then they kind of just got blown out. So, in that case, I think the Lions have proved that they can stay in a lot of the games that they played. I think that they get their first win here at home. So, I'm really hoping that they do. You never want to see a team, doesn't matter who it is, go 0-8 because, you're talking about people's jobs here and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's rough because, like I said, I've always said that this is a blue collar team. They work really hard. And they compete even though, even though they're underdogs and they're facing adversity. And a lot of times people just kind of lay down. So I thought they played, pretty well against the Rams last week. They stayed in it till the end. I mean, I was at Levi's and I was watching it on Red Zone. So I'm going to take the Lions here 24-21.
Yeah, so I think both of us expected the Rams to win last week. I think everybody expected the Rams to win last week. But I have to say, I was rooting for the Lions, right? It was nice. I wanted Jared Goff. After seeing all the interviews, after seeing all the hype around the game, I wanted Jared Goff to get his revenge on Sean. I thought that would have been a nice little small bright spot in just what seems like a dark and cloudy storm over his career right now. That would have been nice for him to have. He was close. He hung in tough. They came out firing. They fell apart at the end. I think the Eagles, who are equally as bad, the only difference is they have Jalen Hurts, who I think is better than Jared Goff. So I think Jalen Hurts, right now, if you look at all the bad teams, if you just pool all the bad teams together, I think Jalen Hurts is one of the top bad team quarterbacks. So I just think that more so, it's not so much him as it is the team. Now, he does do a lot of late game garbage time stuff, but at the same time, Nick Sirianni has to be setting him up for success throughout the entire game. How do you do that? You establish a running game. Who are these people that don't understand that you have to run the freaking ball in the NFL to have success? You're not the Kansas City Chiefs. You're not. And look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They have no running back. Oh, what happened, right? Kansas City Chiefs were like the Warriors back in 15-16. No one's ever seen anything like it, right? No one's ever seen an offense like that. They were like, what the hell is this? Stephen who? Why is he shooting from 50 feet, right? Who's this guy? Patrick Mahomes. Why is he throwing 90-yard bombs? Why are we up 28 points and then in one quarter we're down 14 points? What is going on here? Everybody catches on eventually. You need to have the proper pieces in place, right? It starts with a running game. Philadelphia, establish a running game. I promise you, you will be a better team. They win a competitive game. I got Philadelphia Eagles 25-17. Detroit just can't get out of that losing just mojo, momentum. Losing and the Detroit Lions, I think, will always be synonymous with each other. Hopefully, eventually, they can work themselves out of that. But right now, losing and the Detroit Lions pretty much go hand in hand. Our next game up, we got the Tennessee Titans. Should be a good one. We got divisional games this week. It's divisional week. We got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Indianapolis Colts. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans here. I think that they really made a statement this weekend against the Chiefs. And yep. I think the Colts are okay. I think that they beat a really, really, bad 49ers team. So I'm going to give them some credit, obviously, because in order to get the win on the road and to play in that kind of weather and to, overcome some mistakes that you had in the first half and, come out on top, that's, they deserve some credit. But I don't think that they're a good enough team to beat this hot Tennessee team. So I do think Tennessee wins this one 28-17.
Yeah, I am right there with you. The Titans, like I said in the intro, this is the Titans team that we were all expecting to see from the start of the season, right? This is the team that everyone was like, okay, these guys have the chance to make it to the Super Bowl. Now, even with the Colts being on a winning streak, right? They're on that 2 or 3 game winning streak. I don't see them beating the Titans, right? I do not see them beating this Titans team that looks like they finally got their stuff together. Granted, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, they're healthy. You got to have people to pass the ball to, just as much as you got to be able to run the ball. But it looks like this Titans team, with that win against the Bills, has completely changed their mindset on the season and has really rejuvenated them. So I got the Tennessee Titans in a good one, in a high-scoring game, 35-21. If you got fantasy players in this game, has the potential to be a high-scoring fantasy game. So be on the lookout for that. But Tennessee Titans handling business against the Colts, further putting a stranglehold on that division. Our next game up, and finally they get a break somewhat. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the Zach Wilson list, the Big Apple, to New Jersey. Oh wait, they're not in New Jersey anymore. They're in New York, right? They're in New York at MetLife, right? So we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the New York Jets. Man, what do you got for me on this one?
Yeah, I think that the Bengals are able to continue their win streak. I think that they spoke volumes last week with that big victory against the Ravens. They proved that they're no joke and that they are contenders in the AFC. So I don't think the Jets have a chance at all. I'm picking the Bengals to win this one 35-17. And the New York Jets, actually, MetLife Stadium is actually in New Jersey. So
there we go. So they stay in New Jersey. Oh, that's right. It is in New Jersey. That's
I don't want to hear anything about the 49ers playing in Santa Clara when your team plays in a totally different state. I'm just saying when there's other teams that play in totally different states in totally different cities, because it's pretty normal across the league. If you look, I think there's at least 10 teams that don't play in the city that they, that they represent.
Yes, I would agree. I think, I would say there's probably upwards of 10 teams. I would say roughly around there. But it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. In years past, I would look at this team and I would look at this game and I would say, oh, here it is. This is the game that is set up to fail. This is the game where we're going to come out, look flat, just not be able to move the ball down the field. People are going to be dropping the ball. This is a different team. This is a different Bengals team. So, the fact that the Jets lost Zach Wilson, granted he wasn't doing too much for them, but now you got Mike White and Joe Flacco. Good luck. So I think this is going to be a relatively easy game. I'm hoping it's going to be a relatively easy game because they deserve a rest week. This is our rest week right before the bye. So after these last few tough games, I think they handle the Jets 42-10 in a relatively smooth, easy sailing game. And I'm talking about get Joey out of the game by late third quarter, maybe all over the fourth. Get him out of there. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Houston to take on the Houston Dumpster Fire Texans. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think that this one's pretty easy to pick. If you've been following either of these two teams, if you've been following the Texans at all, you would know that they have been struggling tremendously throughout the season. So, I think the Rams stay on pace with the Cardinals in the NFC West, and I think that they win this one pretty easily, 45-17.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Tyrod comes back this week. He was set to return to practice on Monday. He did return to practice on Monday. I don't know if they're going to get him out here this week. If I were the Texans, I would not throw him out there this week against the Rams. Maybe next week when Tyrod comes back, they were a lot more competitive than we both thought with Tyrod in the game. With Tyrod out, they basically became the team that we all knew that they were. For God's sake, they scored 5 points last week. You have to be a special kind of bad to score 5 points in the game. Los Angeles Rams, 35-14. Maybe next week when Tyrod comes back. If he's back this week, we'll see how he plays. Maybe next week with the team that they play next week, maybe I'll take the Houston Texans. But Los Angeles Rams, if you lose this game, no good. No good at all. Los Angeles Rams, 35-14. Moving on to the afternoon games. And it's the other Los Angeles team. We got the New England Patriots. Now they're traveling to the West Coast, right? They're traveling to sunny Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, coming off a bye. What do you got for me?
Yeah, and as I said earlier, the Patriots they've been impressive throughout the season. I think they're a little bit better than what their record shows, but I do think the Chargers and I think that they have the advantage in this game. I think their offensive weapons and just having Herbert is always a threat. So yeah. I'm gonna pick the Chargers here, 31-24.
I like it. Yeah, I think coming off a bye, I think the Chargers have reset themselves after that Baltimore game. I think they're rested, right? I think Justin wants to get himself back in the MVP conversation. I don't think that really much matters to him based on his personality, but I think, internally, obviously he would like to be in that MVP conversation, so I think he gets back in the MVP conversation. And, it's a home game. If New England was at home, maybe they have a chance, but they're traveling across country. You got a rookie team. You got a team who definitely wants to respond after getting punched in the mouth. So the Los Angeles Chargers here. Good game, but I got the Los Angeles Chargers 35-21, bouncing back in a division that it looks like this new Raider team. You're gonna have to win. You're going to have to win with this new look Raider team because they look completely different than the team that we saw after starting 3-0. They look completely different. So Los Angeles has got to keep winning. 35-21, handling the Patriots. Our next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling up to Washington to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Jacksonville Jaguars, Seattle Seahawks. What do you got for me?
Yeah, it might surprise you here, but I am going to pick the Seahawks.
Okay.
I haven't really picked them this year, but I just think that, they've gotten so close in their last two games that I think they're kind of due, and I think that the perfect team to take advantage of that would be the Jaguars. The Jaguars are okay, but I think that the reason why I'm going to pick the Seahawks is because I think with Geno Smith, they're kind of neck and neck with the Jaguars right now. It would be no question who I think if they got Russell Wilson. Yeah. But I don't think the Seahawks drop, I think it would be like 3 straight home games.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. So I'm going to pick them here in a close one. I'm just going to say that they win this one 30-24.
Okay. Ooh, good game. High scoring game. Okay. Now, I'm going based off of you because, the person who brought it to my attention was yourself, which is Seattle is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Today, Junior, terrible. That's right. They are horrible. They are horrible at home. They look like the worst team when they play at home. So I predicted that they're going to lose every game while Russ is away. I'm standing by those predictions. So I got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Seattle and beating the Rustless. They need him so bad. They need him so bad. The Rustless. Tyler Lockett, you can just erase him, right? Erase Tyler Lockett. He's gone because he's been nowhere. Besides, a defender falling down on DK Metcalf. Erase DK Metcalf. He's gone, right? So I got the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-14. Trevor Lawrence getting his second victory in the NFL. Next up, we got the Washington football team. For the love of God, just give me a name already. We got the Washington football team taking on the Denver Broncos. What do you got for me?
This is another one that's a toss-up. It could go either way. I'm just going to pick Denver just solely because they're at home. I'm going to say 21-14 Denver.
Okay. Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team, they hung tough last week, turned it into a decent game. They got the ball up and down the field. And against one of the fakest teams in the NFL, right there next to the Panthers, I'm going Washington handles them relatively in a snoozer, but I got Washington handling business in the Mile City of Denver, 24-14. Washington, I think, winning their third game this season. Holy crap, that division sucks. The next game up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Some snoozers in the afternoon. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think that the Tampa Bay goes into New Orleans and handles business. I think that Tom Brady continues his route to the NFC Championship game, where I think he will face the Arizona Cardinals if that's the way it pans out, because they might have to play them before that just based on seeding. But
yep.
I think that they're able to get a victory here, 28-17 against the New Orleans Saints.
Boom! There it is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 28-17. Let's go. In a division that on paper, may seem like a tough game, just mainly because of how the Saints defense plays week in and week out. Not so much their offense, but how much their defense. I think Tom and the Tampa Bay Bucks handle business on Bourbon Street, as well as in Caesars Superdome. What the f*** is that? Caesars Superdome.
That's really doesn't have the right ring to it, right?
Yeah, disgusting. I like the Smoothie King Center better. Oh my goodness, that is gross. Tampa Bay Buccaneers handling business 28-17.
And what stadium?
It's called the New Orleans Pelicans play in the Smoothie King Arena.
No. Where are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to handle business this weekend?
Oh God, in the Caesars Superdome. This sounds gross to say. I mean, everyone, take a sec. Say Caesars Superdome. Oh God, it just says I can't stop saying it now. It just tastes bad on my tongue. Tampa Bay 28-17. Boom, baby, gotta score together. All right, let's go. Now, moving on to our night game. Finally, they saved the good games for prime time. That's what I think it is. We got a good game here. I think it's going to be a good game at least. We got the Dallas Cowboys traveling up to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Don't you know? They're going to take on the Minnesota Vikings in what should be an absolute thriller of a Sunday night football game. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this should be a really, really good game. I'm excited to see this. I think what makes it more intriguing is that they're playing in Minnesota. It gives Minnesota, more confidence with the fans being on their side. Yep. The Dallas Cowboy fans travel well, so we'll see quite a few of those. Yeah, I do think that we've talked about this earlier on in the season and kind of on a week by week basis, but this is a Dallas Cowboys team that we haven't seen in a long time,
Yep.
and they're playing really well. So just because of that, I do think that this game could go either way. It was hard for me to make a decision on this one, but I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say that the Dallas Cowboys win this one, 24-21. But I do think that Minnesota could easily win this one as well. So I think it's going to come down to one or two possessions at the end of the game.
Yeah, in this particular game, I'm looking for one thing and one thing only. I'm looking for Minnesota to continue to show that they are much better than their record. I say this week in and week out, but this very well could have been a matchup of two 6-1 teams, which would have been even more of a thriller on Sunday Night Football. Now, they're going up against a really good Cowboys team, and I never thought in my life I'd ever say that, but they're good. The Dallas Cowboys are exciting to watch. I never thought I'd say that either, but the Dallas Cowboys are tough. They are tough. However, at home, I think Kirk gets it done against the good Cowboys team. I'm going 24-23. Kirk's been in some tight games this season. Kirk has been in some tight games. Dallas hasn't been in too many tight games this season. It's kind of been blowouts for them. So I'm looking to see Minnesota here rally at home and really show America, right? This is their chance. They're on prime time. This is your chance to show that you're not a 3-3 team, or you shouldn't be a 3-3 team. So yeah. I got the Minnesota Vikings winning 24-23.
I like it.
Moving on to Monday night. And this game has so many implications, it's not even funny. All right, we got the New York Giants traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Super Bowl hungover, I've had too much tequila partying Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for me?
You know what's funny? When I drink tequila, I actually don't feel hungover. That's the funny thing. Like when I drink if I drink like Hennessy or I drink like vodka or I don't know, beer, I do. If I drink too much of that, I feel hungover. I feel like with tequila, I can keep going, and I feel like I don't feel hungover the next day. It's like the one liquor where I actually feel good. So it's kind of ironic how. That's the liquor. That's the one liquor you mentioned there. So I guess I am lucky. But yeah. So when it comes to the Chiefs and the Giants, it's actually going to be a little bit more of an exciting game than I think people would actually tend to believe, because of the very bad performance of the Chiefs last week and the very dominant performance of the Giants last week.
Yep.
These two teams are not very good teams that are both battling against each other. I expect it to be closer than people would tend to think, but I am going to give the Chiefs some credit here. I mean, they are at home, and I think that they have a big bounce back win. I don't see them dropping to 3-5. I would be surprised. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game, 30-24.
Yeah, this game is more interesting than people think. If you break down this game has a lot of implications, right? And so in response to what Patrick said over the weekend, right? If you want to build anything sustainable, sometimes you got to go through periods like this. Well, to reply to him, I'm going to reply to him with what the great Rocky Balboa says, which is, it's not about how hard you get hit, it's about how hard you keep getting hit and keep moving forward, right? It's not about, you can take all the shots in the world, but if you don't get up, that is what it is. You're not going to win. You ain't going to win, right? So Chiefs are taking their shots right now. Like I said, no one knew what this offense was for the last 3 years. They had the Golden State Warriors effect on the NFL. No one knew what the hell was going on. And as soon as you thought you had an idea, you're already losing by 35 points. So teams have finally now caught on to Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and they're exposing him. They're exposing him for not having a running game, not having a defense, and it goes to show that you can pay the man, $500 million all you want, but if you don't have a defense, you don't have a running game, you're just wasting your money. So, on the flip side, right? Like I'm looking for the Chiefs to keep moving forward, I'm looking for the Giants to keep moving forward, right? You beat a Panthers team that I think some people were 50-50 on the game, right? Some people still believe in the Panthers. Some people thought the Giants would get it done, but it wasn't an overwhelming population of people thinking that the Giants were going to win that game. So you beat the Panthers, struggling as it may be, but this game is exactly like the Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills game. If you can go into Arrowhead and you can beat these Chiefs, you can beat these Super Bowl hungover Chiefs, right? This could easily do the thing that ignites the engine that you need to propel yourself to a solid second half of the season, right? First half wasn't so good. Okay, well that's right. That's great. That's why there's always a second half to a season, right? It doesn't matter how you start. All that matters is how you finish. So if the Giants can go in there and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, that would be a massive, massive, massive statement on Monday night. Do I think it's going to happen? Hell no. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, 42-21, and looking for them to absolutely rebound and blow out. I mean, if Pat is not pissed, if Travis is not pissed, if Tyreek is not pissed, if Andy Reid is not pissed, they have failed in their mission to get back to the Super Bowl. So I'm looking for a major bounce back game. Kansas City Chiefs, 42-21. And that is going to do it with another edition of Meat on the 50. As always, Brandon and I want to thank you, the viewer, for viewing us, for listening to us, for taking the time to listen to all our expectations, our predictions, our analysis, all of it. We want to thank you. And of course, like I do every episode, Brandon, any last words for the people?
Yeah, everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. There's going to be a couple good primetime games that I hope you all will enjoy. I hope you like our picks. And I hope everybody has a happy Halloween and enjoys all these games on Halloween. And everyone be safe.
There we go. Happy Halloween. You heard it from the man. Wishing you a safe Halloween. You know, remember, if you guys like what you guys are seeing, please smash that like button, right? Smash the subscribe button, then tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Tuesday and Friday, you're right there, right? Because that's what we do. We are just dropping knowledge all season long, right? We're just laying it out for you. All you gotta do is pick it up, shove it in that brain of yours, shake it around, and boom, better fantasy player, and we will make you a more knowledgeable football human being, because that is what it's about, right? If you're not growing, you are dying. So smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, tap on that bell notification. That way you can just stay up to date on all the latest content that we are bringing you throughout this entire season. Follow us on Twitter at FantasyTime2021. Follow us on Facebook at The Fantasy Guy 2021. And then follow us, of course, on YouTube where you're viewing this video at FantasyTime2021. Whew! That is one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan, my partner in this journey. I am Jacob Cutler. This has been an episode of Fantasy Time, and we shall see you next week.